got this for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I don't travel without this.
No, man.
Makes me feel
Everywhere
sick.
you go, you got to have it.
There you go. There you go.
Dude, welcome back. It's so great to have you
you.
here. And what was it, 8th annual Big Cat Week?
Yeah, number 8.
Oh, my God. So much to discuss. We're going to get into that. Before we get to Big Cat Week, how's Boone doing, man? How are you?
I'm doing great.
Yeah?
Yeah, same old. Working for a bunch of different research projects.
So cool.
Catching and collaring, doing a little photo trap stuff on the side.
Yeah, I saw that on your Instagram where you guys post some cool stuff. You just caught, there's a big deal.
Yeah, for me, I've been trying to get a picture of this mountain lion in the back of it. It's a really deep cave, like about as long as this room. And in the back room, I thought, oh, that'd be a really cool picture. And for years, I've been trying to get it, and the pack rats keep tearing down the cameras, peeing on them, tipping them over, whatever.
No way.
And I finally, the day after I set the camera up, the lion came in, got a little photo of it.
Day after.
So, yeah, so I was pretty excited.
No.
And then the pack rats knocked everything down.
Came and knocked it all over again. That's pretty nuts. How many like cameras do you typically go through in one dwelling? How does that work? Because I know I was reading they chew them up, they destroy them.
Oh, they're horrible on them. Yeah, they're just it just depends. You keep them outside of caves, they do really well. 6 months I can leave. In fact, I just picked up a camera the other day. It'd been out a year.
No way.
It was on the outside of a ledge wall, and so really cool photos. Cats coming by, but you put them inside, and those guys are just harsh. So 6 hours was the quickest, just by the time card that we'd set it up. We left in the 6 hours.
You were just getting in the car, and it was already done.
Trashed it.
Oh,
so
bummer. What you've been in the game for a minute, man. What has been the biggest game changer for you guys, technology-wise, in terms of capturing and sort of?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the cameras. I mean, it's
for sure.
So in the research end of it, it was VHF collars, and then we went to GPS collars, so we get locations just like we see on our phones and things like that. But now in the research world with cameras, data becomes visual. So instead of dots on a map and analyses and things like that, we go out and we show people behaviors, which is what's making the Big Cat Week stuff even more fun, because a lot of this stuff is research behavior based. So it's things we want to know to make good management decisions to help preserve a species.
Yeah.
So cameras are the game right now. I mean, it's just they're teaching us so much. Behaviors we never get to see.
That's pretty wild. Hang on a second, though. With the GPS colors, do you mean to tell me that you have like an app on your phone that at any point you can pull up, and like in the way that I could see my Uber drivers around the corner, you can see if there's like a large cat nearby?
It's not far from that.
Yeah.
I mean, we literally we're all but real-time data on our cats. So if we get a location every 2 hours, I can log in after the noon location into the database and look and say, oh, there's F101, and we get the location for the day. So it's really cool. It really lets us keep track of our animals and see what's going on and put
not only scientifically, but there's got to be like a practical application there, right? Where like you could alert, like if they're in a populous area or something.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, we could use it for if they're getting close to schools, things like that. We can let local wildlife agencies know so they can give people a heads up. And it's kind of that trade-off of we don't want to freak everyone out.
Right. But you want to make them aware.
But we want to make sure folks are safe and making good decisions on their side too.
So cool, man. What's can you tell me the craziest place you've traveled to in the past 6 months or so? Because you're always all over the place.
You know what? The last little bit, I've been in the States a bunch, which is great, and I've been working in central Idaho in the Frank Church Wilderness area. So I love it because it's no man's land. Like you go out there and there's no roads for 30 miles.
Wow.
And so it really is, you're alone, you're to yourself, and you kind of got to like that, enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure, man. Last time you were here, as I mentioned earlier, you brought some furry friends, but I'm curious if there's an update. It was just shy of a year ago, and you brought, what were they? Were they cheetahs? Yeah,
cheetahs,
you brought us some cheetah cubs.
Yeah.
They were about that big at the time. About how big would they be now? How big are they now?
They're going to be a little more than, so those guys at about a year, they're not going to be full grown. They'll still put on a little bit of size, but they'll probably stand about this high.
Okay.
Those guys we had them before were probably, if they were lucky, 12 pounds. They're probably going to be more in that 70, 80-pound range.
Wow.
So in a year. So yeah, they put on size. Now they're long and lanky. So now they really look like cheetahs. That long, lanky build, built for speed. So
crazy. Do you ever? It's funny. I was thinking of one specific video when I started doing some research earlier, where there's a famous video of these guys that they raised a lion, right? And then they just left the lion and they came back. The lion recognized them. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that video. But then when I was searching for this sort of reunion of sorts, there's like tons of lion reunion videos of like trainers that have come back after years, and the lion jumps and gives them a hug, look in their face, all these things. Have you ever had an experience like that? And also, what's going on? How come there's so many lion reunion videos? What's happening?
Yeah, no, I haven't.
No, you haven't had that experience.
No, I haven't. I mean, most of the stuff that I deal with, we're wild animals, so we're catching them for that moment, And my guess is if they see me again, they're probably not happy to see me. I mean,
They're not retaining
the first
a positive
time
memory.
it was a dart in the butt, you know, and it's like, this guy again. And so
you're doing stuff for their own good. You're
yeah,
helping
exactly.
them.
You know, it's
yeah,
one, it's
but
one
they
of those.
don't know that.
Yeah, they don't. You know,
they have no
so
concept
you can't,
of that. No.
You know, you can't be upset if they're a little upset about that as well. And so
Yeah.
it is what it is. But no, I think you know that's. I look at those videos and I guess I take almost the opposite stance. I get nervous.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
And I get
So
I get nervous in the sense that people think, oh, this is normal. If I get a baby lion, we're going to have these little guys, some little friends out here in a minute, and we're all going to ooh and ah, and they're so cute and adorable, and they are. But they grow up and they get big.
Yeah.
And then there's things that are instinctual there that, you know, Mother Nature for, you know, eons and eons has primed them to be a certain way and respond to certain things. And so that's what I worry about is that Mother Nature instinct kicks in. Because you don't get rid of that by just raising it in a house. And that's always my biggest fear. And so, you know, I guess, you know, this is the point where I say, hey, yeah, we've got some animal ambassadors here today, and that's great. We're so grateful we can have that because they can't be released to the wild.
Yeah.
But we don't want to make that a norm by any means. I mean, so we don't want to encourage people to go out and get a lion and go back and have a reunion with it when it's 400 pounds.
Just to be clear, Boone Smith on the record against domesticated lion pets. Do not get a lion.
As a general rule, we probably shouldn't be getting that for Christmas. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so anyone who's already purchased a lion, do the responsible thing. Bring your lion back. Make sure you're doing your part. So Big Cat Week, man. It is here. It is back once again. I love all these specials and all the different things that are going on. For those that are uninitiated, that aren't familiar with Big Cat Week, tell them a little about what it is, what we're trying to do with Big Cat Week.
Yeah, so Big Cat Week is just that. It is the biggest and the baddest. You know, we've got shows. If you have a favorite big cat, even if it's your house cat, we actually have a show on that that contrasts their wild cousins to the domestic ones. But it's mountain lions, it's jaguars, it's tigers, it's lions, it's leopards, it's cheetahs.
Oh my!
And it's all sorts of different things about them. Some of it's the true classic blue chip wildlife doc, you know, that's just showing them in their natural element. Others are expeditions, you know, research projects that are going out that are trying to save an animal from a certain situation. All of them have a different message that we're trying to bring across, which is, hey, these things are extremely important to our ecosystems.
Yeah.
And some of them, like some of these we see right here, tigers are extremely endangered. Lions are not yet, but they're headed that way.
Wow.
You know, so some of it is to get folks to be excited about them, number one, but then get involved and be aware that we can do something about it, that we're not playing this endangered species game where we're always trying to save something from disappearing.
It's crazy. You said lions are heading that way.
Oh yeah, lions.
Aren't they the king?
They're the king, but that is, so if, you know, I mean, tigers' stories are very famous right now because there's so few left.
Yeah.
Lions, the story, I mean, we go back 50 years and we're talking hundreds of thousands of lions. Mm-hmm. Population estimates today put them under 30,000 in over 50 years. And so you start to do just kind of some rough math in your head and you're like, oh my gosh, these things are disappearing. And that's just it. We don't want to live in a world without the king of the beast.
Do we know why? It's a big question.
It's a big question, and it's a bunch of things. And sometimes it varies from place to place.
Is it something I did, like a common day citizen? Like, is there something that
yes and no.
we don't realize we're purchasing and we're contributing to this? Or
a lot of it is space. I mean, certainly we have poaching issues and things like that go on where there's illegal take of an animal. But for most of these big cats, the problem is space. They're running out of space. And so, yes, it is kind of our fault. I get it. We don't live in Africa right now where we're taking up space for lions. But as the human population grows, there's less and less space for these big animals. And because they are so big, I mean, male lion, 500 pounds. He needs a lot of room to roam.
500 pounds.
A lot of room to roam. And so as that gets concentrated, sometimes there's not enough prey. Sometimes he's stealing cows, goats, you know, livestock that he shouldn't be into. And so that creates a problem, and ranchers retaliate or kill him, things like that. And so a lot of the problems we have are human-based. We have our mark there. And a lot of it isn't just that there's a lot of the idea we'd love just to have a big space, leave it alone, not touch it. But the reality is we're there. And so a lot of the things we do now with Big Cat Week is our Big Cats initiative. This is the coolest part of Big Cat Week in my mind, is you can go get online any of the National Geographic websites. It'll take you to the Big Cats initiative.
Yeah.
It talks about the different projects. There's been over 100 since 2009. We've raised millions of dollars that go to different projects. Some are education, some are awareness, some are research. But it's things these guys need to make sure that these cats are safe. They build a BOMA program that's within that. So a BOMA, if you don't know, is kind of like a glorified traditional livestock fence. I just read some numbers. They've saved almost 1,700 lions from mortalities because they went and built these BOMAs and prevented the lions from getting in trouble with local ranchers and livestock.
No way, they just set up some boundaries.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's the cool thing about it. I mean, we look to entertain with this, certainly. We look to educate, certainly.
We also want people in.
Yeah, we want people to come and get involved.
And have fun with it.
The reality is, it costs money to do all these projects. Conservation costs money,
totally.
and it's work. But Nat Geo's got the great thing going that we've got the proof in the pudding now. We can see where we've made that difference. And it's taken 8 years to start to get that foothold, and of course, we hope we run it for 20 more.
Well, that's great. I was going to ask that is, you're 8 years in. I don't know how long it takes to start seeing like dividends, to start seeing returns on your investment in this initiative. Are you guys starting to see little bits, promising data?
I think that's, it takes a little while for the data to come in.
Yeah, it takes a long time.
And so when we can say, hey, 1,700 lions, I think that the total number for big cat conflict issues that the Big Cats Initiative were involved in, it's a little over 2,500.
Yeah.
So they estimate in some form or fashion we've saved 2,500 different big cats that would have been killed for a mortality reasons because they killed livestock, they were in trouble with people.
Right.
And so now we're starting to say, hey man, 2,500 over some years there. And it's getting bigger every year. That's the cool thing. Like really, I mean, we expect this year to be bigger than the first 4 years combined. And that's what,
that's cool.
Yeah, you kind of start that momentum and roll with it.
Yeah, very, very cool. With all the amazing specials and things going on, is there one in particular that you're very excited for everybody to see and everybody to check out?
Oh man, that's tough.
All right, top three?
So, I mean, we've obviously got a couple of them showcased here. The Jaguar one that's coming out this year, Jaguar versus Croc. It's in the Pantanal in Brazil. I did some research work there, caught and collared some jaguars. So I see that and I'm like, oh, I remember that. And and it's piranha-infested rivers that are full of, they're not actually crocodiles, they're caiman. But we say crocodiles because everybody knows what that is.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. I mean, to see a place where you've been and you worked. Tonight is our big one that airs Man Among Cheetahs. And Bob Poole's the guy that shot that, and an Idaho boy. So
very cool.
I kind of got that connection. So, I mean, just the cool thing about it is after 8 years, we're still seeing new behaviors, new stories to tell, new dramas unfolding, and that's what's cool about it. That's what's cool about it.
Yeah. Oh, 8 years of Big Cat Week, but you've been doing this for 20 years, 25
Yeah,
years?
I'm getting close to 20.
Yes.
But this is my 17th year.
That's incredible, though, that after all that time, you're still learning new things, seeing new behaviors, capturing stuff you couldn't capture before.
If anything, that's just it. Every time I go, I'm realizing, I don't know anything. I realize I know less and less the more I go out there.
Very exciting. Well, we're going to bring our friends out. I know we have a clip we're going to take a look at real quick to set up who's going to come out and join us. Can we go ahead and run the clip real quick?
She is the most famous tiger in the world. A fearsome warrior known for her legendary power. A mother whose bloodline reigns supreme. But her might is fading. Time is running out. Yet she won't give up. And now the Tiger Queen must battle one of her own.
Wow. All right, not in any way terrified. That was amazing. I haven't seen this particular guest yet, but if we can go ahead and bring out our first furry friend here. Oh my goodness. Look at you.
Hi, buddy.
Boone.
Hi, buddy. Hi.
Boone.
Hi.
So does our buddy have a name?
This is Gideon.
Gideon. Oh my
He's a Bengal tiger. We're just going to kind of let him grow. He's going to explore a little bit and sniff and kind of check things out. But he's pretty chill. So he's Bengal tiger. He's 4 months old.
4 months.
4 months old. Yeah, and he's just
chilling.
He's just chilling.
Oh
doing what tigers do.
Yeah, which is look amazing and very fluffy, might I add.
He's got
Is he? So cat
behavior.
This happened with the cheetahs as well.
It's movement.
There's something. Yeah, they see outside and it fascinates them.
So you think about this evolution I talked about, the instinct that they're hardwired. He can't even help this.
Yeah.
He sees a movement out of the corner of his eye, and he's got to focus, because that's what it's about in the wild. You see a movement, it signifies prey. And so he's got to be keyed into every little thing that's going on so he can be successful, see it before it sees him.
Now,
and so that's, outside, he's just like, look at all this movement. And it's not that he's wanting to get anybody at this point in his life.
Right, at this point in his life.
He's not there yet. How he's hardwired.
He's still figuring out himself more than anything else. All right, we've got the hands free. We can go anywhere on this stage. Is it too brazen to suggest we take a toy and see if we can get him to pay attention to us? Is that...
He might.
He might not.
He might not.
But let's find out.
There's a lot of new. I mean, he's pretty chill. You can hear him when you sit here, little chuffs. He'll talk at you a little bit, huh?
Oh.
He'll chew on you like a little bit of puppy.
Oh my gosh!
Huh?
Look at him go! Look at him! Look at the size
of
those paws.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've conveyed that at home yet, but anyone with a camera, please get a shot of these paws.
Come here, buddy.
Oh my gosh. Is petting,
Yeah,
is that all right?
Cool. He's cool.
So he's 4 months old.
He's 4 months old.
Right?
Oh, I know.
Oh, he's so sweet. And where did he come to be? How did you guys come about?
So he's out of a sanctuary there in Pennsylvania. You can see we got a couple handlers with us that are helping us out.
And thank heavens.
Yeah. I mean, and these guys are great because, you know, we talked about that a little bit up front, how people want to have these as pets and this and that, and that's not necessarily what we promote. But there are situations where these guys, Gideon can never go to the wild. And so your options become, what do you do with him? And so these guys have a great facility where they're able to keep him. We have the opportunity to use him as an ambassador here a little bit, and then he's going to live a great life. You know, I mean, these guys are going to take care of him. And
so he gets to be an ambassador. Do you guys, and what do you guys learn? What kind of data can you acquire? Not to consider him like a point of data. He's a living creature. You know, like you guys surely, by raising one and having this close contact with one, you learn new things.
Yeah, we do. I mean, sometimes a lot of it is, you know, you talk about tigers, snow leopards are another one. We talk about animal species that are, or cat species that are close to really going extinct. All these genetics become extremely important.
Very, very important.
You know, so if we run out and we're doing reintroduction programs or things like that, we've got to be fairly diverse.
Yeah.
Or else the species doesn't survive. And when we're talking about 400 Siberian tigers, less than 4,000 tigers in the world, period, in the wild. You know, all of a sudden you start thinking, man, it becomes a big deal if we can't inbreeding and things like that. We've got to make sure there's a few around. So sometimes genetics become a big play of it too.
Very, very cool.
And where'd
he go?
He's going to slide your box back.
He's
and
poking around. Yeah, hang on. Let's see if we
yeah.
can get this out of the way here. Go ahead and take my mug for me.
You bet.
So, oh, no, you didn't like that. Hey, buddy. How long until how quickly is Gideon going to grow? What are we looking at?
So he's a male.
Yeah.
He can potentially reach over 250, 300 pounds.
250, 300 pounds.
Yeah, he's not going to be small.
No, he's not going to be small at all. He's
he's a Bengal. So there's a subspecies, the Siberian or Amur tiger, that's even bigger. Males can reach up to 500 or 600 pounds. So now you're talking about a cat the size of a cow. That's something.
That is something. That is the term. That is something. So you travel with him. He's an ambassador animal. You take him all around. What's the daily care like for someone like Gideon? I feed my dog like 3 times. What is he?
Yeah, I mean, same thing. Like we don't want a lazy fat cat by any means.
No.
And so I mean,
not the kind of big cat you're looking for.
Yeah, he's. I mean, and cats are inherently lazy. We think about lions that have been documented, wild lions that sleep 21 hours a day.
Yeah.
It's in them. You know, it's in them. They know how to conserve energy and what that means. So he's got time to exercise. You know, he'll eat a specific diet to him that's based on his size, what his nutrition needs are as he grows. See, we just saw something move outside, and he's like, "Snake,
that's
what?"
That's it, and we've lost him.
Snake, what?
How often does what's like a typical cat nap? How long does he sleep for someone who's lazy? Does he just like pass out for a couple hours?
I think it's all the time. It's like, you grab a wink, you grab a wink. And so, I mean, they've had a busy day with us. You know, we've kind of been all over. So
where else has he been so far? Where's he?
We've been all over town.
Yeah,
all over New York.
But
his disposition is great. Like he is mellow. He is very chill. He's easy to handle.
Very much so. Yeah. Well, especially compared to who we're going to bring out next. And so
next one's going to move a little faster. Yeah.
Next one's going to move a little bit faster, and I can see I'm running down some time before we throw to the audience. So what I want to do, guys, if we don't already have mics, let's get them out in the room, get some questions, and we'll get the next our next buddies up here.
Bet.
And they can't be on the same space at the same time,
Thanks,
right?
buddy.
They don't.
Yeah, and it's not that they don't like each other. It's just that our next guests are a little smaller, and they will play. It's just that
picks them up.
Yeah, it's just that he will always win.
He will always win.
Yeah, he's like the big brother to our next ones. Our next ones are going to be some leopards. And it's like the big brother just pinning them down, going, yeah, you're just going to sit there. And so, of course, they talk a lot and don't like it. But they get along fine. But
sure.
We'll try and not have the sibling squabbles.
I noticed one of the handlers just straight up had her like fist in that little guy's mouth, and he was just like gnawing around and playing with it. What's the cutoff where you stop doing that? Like when
you know, some of these guys, even when they're full-grown adults, because of that time they spend with them in a relationship, it probably they don't do it as a norm. Right now, it's kind of like a puppy thing, if you make sense. You got your puppy, and he's chewing on the couch. I'll give him my hand for a minute.
Yeah.
You know, and they do it. It's a soft bite. I mean, they've been chewing on him all day.
Yeah.
And it's just they recognize that difference of play and things
Yeah.
like that. Like, I mean,
That's
if
wild.
we'd have let him do it, he won't leave a mark on you from it.
Yeah, I'm sorry to keep equating these magnificent animals to my boxer at home, but the biting thing is the same way. We always tell people, like, he may put his mouth on, but he knows the difference. He won't bite you at all. That's just what he doesn't have hands.
Yeah, and so that's what he does, and it's just, you can see in his mentality, it's pretty mellow. He's just playing. He's just kind of checking things out, and they actually play a little more rough one with another. Yeah. The leopards, when we get them out here, like, you'll see.
I'm excited
when they get in close proximity, sometimes they roughhouse kind of hard on each other. You're like, wow. Awesome. And then they come to you, and they're just all cute and cuddly. And
I can't wait. I want to get them out here. If the leopards are ready, I believe we're ready for the leopards. Do we have any questions in the room just yet? I see a microphone right over here. Let's start with that, and then we'll get our friends out here.
Speak big cat's language, what would you say to them?
One of the things we always wonder, or at least I wonder, is what is actually going through their heads. What is it that they really see, think? Is it what I really think they do? Because, I mean, I'm making all sorts of assumptions, right? That I think I know what they think, what they feel, this and that. And we base some of that off data. But I think that's it. Do they think and know? Do they process it the way that I envision it in my head? Which I have no idea. I would love that opportunity.
Oh, my God. All right, tell me about our newest addition to the crew here. Who are we talking to? What do we got?
So we've got Attila's over here behind you.
Attila? Tell me that one's the Hun.
That's not the Hun. That is Hussein.
Attila and Hussein.
They're brothers.
No way, really?
You look at them, you wouldn't think that, but we've got this one. Hussein's a black color face. Yeah. So it actually exists in the wild. It's not an uncommon thing in certain places in Africa. But he's a black color face. And they're just, these guys, I say, they're a little busier. They got to explore a little more.
Yeah, they're mystified by the outside. I absolutely
he's over here talking. And
so that's wild. So they're brothers. Have we identified it? Do we have the technology? Do we know why one is a different color from the other?
It's just a gene. It's just genetics. It's just that's all genetics. It is. It's a recessive trait, and it lined up that he's got him, and he is convinced he is going that way.
And about how old are these guys? These
guys are just a little over 3 months.
A little over 3 months. Incredible. Hey, buddy, what's up? Super. Oh, did you hear that? Did you hear that little noise?
Oh, come here.
Now, are they in a similar similar situation to Gideon? These guys are they? Yeah, they're raised captive.
They're raised captive. Again, our animal ambassadors. That leopards are. We're obviously we don't have a leopard photo up here, but leopards are going to be highlighted this year in some things. There's some articles coming up in the National Geographic magazine about leopards and their persecution. And they're cool. Like these guys are cool cats. This is agile. I mean, the tigers are kind of the big bulls in the china shop,
Yeah.
Getting that big. These guys are the athletes. They're springy. They're explosive. They're powerful. And even this little, we're starting to see them as they're bouncing around. Like they're starting to move easy.
It's funny. Even when they were kind of running loose in the green room backstage, and I think we got some video of it. If you want to see it, you should follow us. Sorry, shameless plug. But oh no. He almost fell through the little panel there.
What'd you find, buddy?
They were jumping, just hopping from couch to chair, jumping around. It was incredible to watch, and creating a mess everywhere they go. Same question with the hand in the mouth that I had for Gideon. How long until these guys start to be a little more?
These guys do the same thing all morning when we've been playing with them. I mean, they're chewing, they're and they're wrestling. It's one of those. I think it's a habit. I think these guys will probably try and break them of a little bit because they don't know their own strength on some things, and it's not that they'll intentionally do anything. It's just it's an act. And you look if these guys, that green room stuff. I don't know if we picked up some of that when they start to wrestle, they really go. There's a sibling rivalry there, and so then you start to really see what's going on with them.
Wow.
What do you say, bud?
Very incredible. Do we have another question out in the room? I see some mics. Let's take one from over here.
Hey, so I know sometimes there'll be times where we encounter some of these wild animals, like in the cities. So I was wondering, like, is there any way, like, to like maybe approach them, or like any protocols or anything like that?
Cat Safety 101. Hey. I see you sneaking through. Yeah, Cat Safety 101. We never want to approach a wild carnivore, predator, of any form or fashion. And that's just safety. Now, in New York, I don't think you're going to see a lot. But you start
the
getting
odds are slim.
And if you do, like something's gone really, really wrong.
I am calling you immediately.
Yeah. No, but people always ask me for mountain lions, especially here in the United States. What do we do? What's the protocol for mountain lions, and what do we do? And I always tell people, enjoy it. Like, take the moment and appreciate what you're seeing.
Yeah.
quickly first assess what the cat's doing. If it's being aggressive and coming towards you, maybe don't take quite such a long moment.
Yeah.
You know, but for the most part, these cats are they're just wondering what's going on with us. They're just checking things out. If one does become aggressive, you get big. Yell, scream, get big.
That works?
Yeah, it's the bluff. That's what you're going to convince them that you're bigger and badder than they are.
Wow.
And so there's a reason why here in the United States, like, we don't hear a lot about mountain lion attacks.
Yeah.
For as many mountain lions there are back west and whatnot, doesn't come up very often. It's because they really don't want anything to do with us. They're just shy. And when we do have a problem, there's usually some strange situation taking place.
Yeah, so, they're very vocal.
Oh, they talk a ton. These guys talk a ton. They'll tell you when they're happy, when they're sad, when they're anything. They're always chatting.
Absolutely. I mean, on the prowl, dude. I believe, I just got the signal. We have one more question we're going to take. It's right here in the front.
What made you want to work with cats? Describe the moment when you knew you were going to help this, and do you feel more comfortable interacting with them or being back in the city life and interacting with people?
Oh, this is not my element. Like, this is so not my element. I'm an Idaho boy, born and raised. Love to be in the mountains. That's home to me. That's when I'm happiest. Just like these guys, wanting to cruise. You know, for me, I don't know if there was just a moment. My background is pretty simple. I grew up in a family that kind of did this. My great-grandpa was a trapper. My grandpa was actually a bounty hunter.
Really?
But not like a modern-day bounty hunter. My grandpa was a bounty hunter back in the West when they had bounties on wolves, bears, and coyotes, so he would catch them and kill them. And that was what our management policy was back in the 50s and 60s. So I grew up knowing how to catch, trap, go, and do all these things. And I don't look bad on what my grandpa did. It was just what the management practice of the time was.
That's what it was at the time, yeah.
And so now we've learned more. And so, but as a result, all those skills and things he taught me allow me to be very effective and efficient at my job. And so now we kind of do the same thing, just a little twist on it.
Yeah.
You know, we're darting them, we're calling them. We still got to catch them. And so I think from the beginning when a career started, I just knew I wanted to be outside. I didn't care what I did as long as I was outside. And this is just a total bonus and perk to follow big cats and see cool things as I go along the way.
So very cool. When you're tracking them and like hunting them down, like what is the process when you're trying to catch one for the first time? Are you relying on public sightings? Do you know this is a known area where they congregate, so we'll have better luck here? Like what?
Yeah.
How do you approach that? Like go out and catch one?
Yeah, these guys, they're habitual.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Local knowledge is always great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, you always want to talk with local folks. Where have they seen him? Then we look for signs and things like that, and then we'll take a few days and kind of figure out their travel routes, where they're coming and going, where they frequent, and then we take advantage of that.
Oh my goodness! Look at you.
What you talking about, buddy?
You little monster. Amazing. Will his color change as he gets older? Or no,
he's going to stay that way. What's cool about him is you can still see the spots.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we say, you know, black leopard, black jaguar, black panther, whatever you want to call them. And they're never truly actually black. The spots are all there. It's just that color phase. And so when his show really easy right now. As he gets a little older, you'll hit the sunlight on them and they'll just pop.
And they'll pop.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever observed like any behavioral differences? Like these guys are the black ones tend to be like they're the hunters and they get out there like is there any difference or no?
No, honestly it comes down from individual to individual.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their own personality.
They have their own personality. Yeah.
I mean, look at these guys are. I mean, look at the difference between
I love it. He is
Gideon and.
Oh!
What are you doing?
That is incredible.
Are you drinking? This one's done, just so you know.
That's fine.
If you're going to drink out of it again.
No. We'll get some fresh ones after. Look, well, that was our last question. I could do this for the rest of the day, but regrettably, I got to let you go. I know you have a ton more stops to make. One last time, Big Cat Week. When can people tune in? When are they tuning in? It's all week.
It's on right now. It's on all
right
week.
now.
Yeah.
Nat Geo WILD. Guys, please make some noise. Boone Smith, everybody. Thank you so much, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
So good to have you back. Thank you.